Hello everybody, welcome to this presentation. My name is Magnus Frampton. I teach at the University of Vechta in Germany. I've been having visitors, I've been having students from Akdeniz University in my courses over the course of the last few years. I've had wonderful experiences with your students. And meeting your students inspired me to visit your university last year. I had a wonderful time teaching your students. I was also excited about your university. I was in the gerontology department. I was learning about your university for senior citizens, or your university of the third age, so to say. Utterly inspiring stuff. So this video is for you guys. I'd like to consider German services for older people. I'm not a gerontologist, I come from a social work background, and that'll be my topic today, services designed to support older people in their active aging. Active aging will be our theme. And in a minute, I'm going to jump into that, but before I do jump into that, what do you think of this nice image? I'm very proud of Germany's culture. I wasn't born in Germany. I came to Germany in my early 20s, inspired by German art and culture, films, art. And look at this. This is a sculpture from Germany by an artist called Ernst Barlach. I always invite my students to watch these videos together. Maybe more fun to watch this video together with a friend on the telephone or a friend on the Zoom. Watch this with a friend. Pause here, natter with your friend or your partner. What do you think of this image? Do you like it? If you like it, why do you like it? What's interesting about it? Pause here and discuss with your partner. Yeah, what can we say about this? If you liked it, I think you may like it because of the reasons which are typical of the artist's work. I've got another image here, the singing man, and you can see many parallels in those two images. What can we say about Barlach? German artist, primarily a sculptor, but he also did graphic work and he also wrote as well. These two images are very typical of his work, expressionistic. Now, he's obviously inspired by human feelings, by human emotions, and he's trying to capture that in his work. You know, in this case, in the shape of a sculpture. You know, I love the position of the body, the shape of the old singing lady's arms, her shoulders, the way in which her dress hangs. You know, I find it has a kind of energy to it. And hey, look at the energy in her face. Barlach is capturing joy, you know, the joy of dancing. But there's something else there. The lady has an almost cheeky expression on her face. Maybe she knows that she's dancing like a child and people are not expecting her to dance like a child. So there's a kind of cheekiness in her expression, which I find makes it so vibrant and energetic. And again, the singing man also has a kind of joyfulness which Barlach is capturing. So there you are, German artist, really, really interesting artist, an expressionist. He's interested in the whole range of human emotions. You'll find other images of his online. Many of them capture emotions somewhere on the spectrum from joy to sadness. He's interested in the human condition. Particular interest, the human life course. You know, he'll often make sculptures of older people. Recommended, there's some great museums of his work. The first I saw was in Hamburg, there's another one in Güstrow. Of course, these days you can visit such museum collections online, and I really recommend you to do so. And if you ever have the chance to visit them in the flesh, all the better. Indeed, his sculptures are scattered across churches and public places, particularly in northern Germany. Let's leave Barlach for now. You can investigate him in your own time. I'm hoping I'll inspire you to do so. Let's get back to our topic though. I promised to talk about aging in Germany, active aging in Germany, and the institutional support behind that. Well, the idea of active aging, of course, it's an idea that's been promoted by the World Health Organization. And I'm going to quote from their 2002 paper. And it's worth noting this paper was published simultaneously in German. So their understanding of active aging will have shaped German discourses greatly. Here you are. It's a nice definition of this. Active aging is the process of optimizing opportunities for health, participation, and security. Why? In order to enhance quality of life as people age. It applies to both individuals and population groups. Good. So we're thinking about applying this concept to the case of Germany. And maybe before I start, an interesting question to ask is Does Germany offer good conditions for active aging? What do you think? I would argue, I think it could be argued that older people in Germany today enjoy particularly favourable conditions for active aging. You know, for me, we have good chances here. Why? What's behind my thinking there? Again, natter with your partner. Can you guess any reasons why we may say this, or we may think that Germany's maybe a good environment for active aging? Pause here, natter with your partner. Unpause here. What did you come up with? Active aging in Germany today? I think there's a number of reasons that I had in my mind. Now, again, I'm not speaking as a gerontologist here, I'm not an expert, but just thinking about life in Germany. The first point I note, Germany has a relatively generous welfare system. You know, there's a lot of welfare in Germany. We have a lot of welfare services, relatively generous welfare benefits. Now, you might say, oh, the system is more oriented on the middle of society. I must be open. I don't want to deny the fact that some people, some older people in Germany are poor. Yes, we have a pension of poverty, but by and large, the welfare state and the welfare services are generous, and that's obviously a great advantage. Moreover, if you're lucky enough to grow older in Germany, you're growing older in an economically successful country, and that's always supportive of active aging, isn't it? Germany has an impressive and well-funded prevention-oriented healthcare system. You know, coming to Germany as a young man from Britain 20 years ago, I was struck by the difference. You know, this is a country which takes healthcare services very seriously. And I personally love the spirit of prevention within those services. So that's going to be advantageous. Other points, though, are not related to the economic dimensions here. When I came to Germany 20 years ago, I noted that there seemed to be a kind of a stronger culture of community in German society. To give a concrete example, I was dazzled by German club membership. Germans love participating in clubs. Many of my German friends would tell me, oh, I go to a singing club on Tuesdays and a yoga club on Thursdays. You know, that is so German. There's also an interest in volunteering. You know, Germans are quite passionate about, you know, helping out in the community. And you've got faith groups, you know, churches, for example, stimulating that participation even more. So I think community participation, for me, coming from Britain, it seemed to be a German strength too. Good. Final point that immediately struck me when I came here, you've got a really large voluntary sector. You've got big, powerful agencies, charities, NGOs. They're doing lots of work in the whole social sector and promoting the interests of older people. That's one of their goals. You know, they're working hard to promote participation of older people in society. And sometimes these agencies even campaign for the interests of vulnerable groups in society. Vechta is a nice example. If you leave the train at the train station, you're opposite the Haus der Caritas, the Caritas agency linked to the Catholic Church. And it will have big posters on its building, you know, promoting social questions, making us think about social topics, which may in part be difficult topics to think about. So, you know, that they have a good campaigning influence, and they're typical of these large charities working in the German welfare state. Good. Now, it goes without saying, I'm kind of hiding the negative here. I'm celebrating positive aspects that Germany offers. I could ask a separate question, you know, why is it harder to age actively in Germany? And there would be valid points there as well. But let's hold on to these positive points for now. Good. I want to move on now. I want to talk about German social work law. And the German welfare state is very clearly outlined in the legal system. Germany's social benefits and its social services are collected together in 12, what we call them books, of the social code. So we have a kind of systematic collection of social services law. In German, we call these Sozialgesetzbücher, SGB for short. Now, each of these books is not really a book at all. It's a collection of themed laws on a particular area of the welfare state. You guys have this cliche of Germans as being very thorough and systematic, and these laws reveal that aspect of the German personality. The laws are didactically formulated, so they're written as if a teacher has written them. Isn't that nice? They really are quite easy to read. Actually, I love this fact, and I often ask my students, why? Why are the laws so clearly written? Discuss this with your partner. Pause here and discuss. Did you come up with any reasons? I think it's beautiful. I mean, I am a German citizen. I was born in a different country. Why was I proud to become a German citizen? There's lots of things I like about Germany. I like the transparency of German society. You know, this is a democratic place. We value things like human rights. And I think if you're a citizen, these services are for you. You know, in part, they're financed by the tax you're paying or your social insurance contributions. They're services for you. And you have a right to understand what services you're getting. And I think that's why they're written in a fairly clear way in the law books. You know, families can easily look at the law books and see what entitlements they have, black on white in front of them. So that's something that I love, something that I get passionate about, you know, the ease of access to these German services. Good. Yeah, so let's investigate these laws more closely. I've talked about this whole set of laws for the German welfare state. Of course, many of these laws deal directly with aging questions. We've got the gesetzliche Rentenversicherung, pension insurance, SGB 6. We've got SGB 11, soziale Pflegeversicherung, nursing care insurance. And the one I'm going to talk about today, SGB 12, Sozialhilfe, which is actually social assistance. When we talk about the services which I want to zoom in on right now, we call them Altenhilfe. It's a very old-fashioned sounding expression. I don't think it really sounds modern today. As a Brit, I would just call this older people's services. And they're located in the last of these books that I've just mentioned, the social assistance one. In German laws, we talk about Paragraphen, and a paragraph in a German law is just what Brits or Americans might call a section, and they're to be found in section 71. Now, it's worth noting the context here. This book collects social assistance laws. Social assistance is help for needy people. And typically, when we talk about help for needy people, that is means tested. Sorry, a bit of social policy jargon. If a service is means tested, it means that the state checks whether you have the means to provide your service that self, to buy that service yourself. And only if you're poor, too poor, so to say, would you then get that automatically. Now, it's worth noting, although most of the laws in this law are means tested, this one isn't, okay? The services I'm describing are not means tested. Nobody will check your income before you access these services. In other words, these services are designed to help all citizens. They're open access. Okay, open access, low threshold, you might say. To give you a feeling for this as a parallel, it's a little bit like youth work and youth clubs. Teenagers have got lots of time on their hands. They want something to do. They go to their youth club and they just drop in, pop by, see what's happening. And that's the spirit of these services too. It's a service in the community. It's there for you. Drop in and check it out if you would like to. And once again, the German laws, because they have this clarity and because they're clearly written, we can find the purpose, the objectives of the Altenhilfe just by looking in the law books. Here you are. And here it is in German. Do you want me to read that in German? No, you don't want me to read that in German, do you? I've got a very, very strong English accent when I read German. I've been here for 20 years, but I can't lose my English accent. Shall I? Yeah, why not? Why not? Die Altenhilfe soll dazu beitragen, Schwierigkeiten, die durch das Alter entstehen, zu verhüten, zu überwinden oder zu mildern. Und alten Menschen die Möglichkeit zu erhalten, am Leben in der Gemeinschaft teilzunehmen. That's quite hard reading, actually. In English, very, very clearly here, older people's services are to contribute to the prevention, overcoming, and reduction of difficulties arising from old age, and support older people to have the opportunity to participate in life in the community. So I want you to step back from this, think about this, reread it, discuss it with your partner. What do you think of this passage from the German law? Do you like it? You know, what's it saying? What's it saying? Pause here. Hey, unpause here. What do you think? I was talking about this in Finland. I was teaching gerontology students in Finland, and their professor was very, very interested with this extract, with this quote from the German legislation. And she said to me, she said, I find that almost a description of active aging. You know, this captures the essence of active aging, she said. And I think this really is true. There's a lot of the active aging idea in this law. So my personal instincts are, you know, I'm proud of this. I find this a lovely idea to have this sentence in the legislation. What follows then, very Germanic this actually, is a set of concrete services. A selection of possible services are then explicitly outlined. It's worth noting that the list is non-exclusive, so it's only a guide for local authorities. It's not the complete set of services offered in any one place, but rather it's a kind of core, a common core set of services. So more and different services can be offered. This is the core set of services that should be there. Your task, in a minute I'll give you the German list, thinking of the support that older people need to age actively. What concrete services are you expecting the German legislator to list? Can you foresee the services I'm going to be describing to you shortly? Again, pause here, discuss with your partner. I'm going to make it a break now. This is the end of video 1. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to stop here and this talk will continue with video number 2. Thanks for listening.